The Queen Kikardos was sitting in her chambers, thinking of a reply to General Trivenak holo message. But before she could reply, thoughts of the lone human vessel entered her mind, taunting and distracting her from any other thoughts. This has to stop. I am a queen. I cannot be rattled this easily. I will not be a prisoner of that human vessel. I must and will get to the bottom of this matter. Her first move was to summon the records keeper, a old weathered reptilian male, with magnificent flowing robes of wonder that made him stand out, and the keeper of all things that needed recording and maybe a bit of nonsense too. The queen hissed at her personnel guards to fetch him at once. The guards, somewhat hesitant to rush out of the chambers, were met with a sharp stare from the queen. "Move, don't just stand there. Fetch the keeper at once," the guards answered with, "Permission to speak, my queen." "Oh, if you must, what is it?" she hissed with a frowning face. "The keeper of records can only be summoned with the approval of the overseers," the trembling guards remarked. The queen began to realize this was true, and it somehow had slipped her mind. The memories of her father and that human vessel had clouded her thinking. Very well, begin the process of gathering the overseers. The overseers, a bunch of old lords and governors appointed to keep the balance of power with the queen, one of the reasons she wanted to leave them out of the request. The guards this time moved out with gusto and determination in their steps, as if they will be greatly rewarded or something. Little did they know that no such reward awaited them, but still they had pride in their duties, that the job to serve was enough. Now that I have a moment to myself, I better send a reply to these somewhat needy generals. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news in regards to the Space Jam concert. This is no way on my green skin that anyone will be taking a break or having ships on autopilot. Clean up your game, General Trivenak, and lock in, or I will have you dragged back here in front of the overseers and demoted on the matter of the lone human ship. Find me a name, and fast, as I am doing secret research here and have sent for the keeper of records. Try and stay off the long-range comms, as we don't know yet the full extent of these watchers' capabilities, enabling level 5 encryption end transmission. With that done, the queen felt a little better, but still knew what awaited her at the meeting with the overseers, as they have been for some time trying to introduce a home world different from the rest of the fractions that littered the universe, in the way of removing a queen, acting as a commander and having any power or influence over any invasion plans, including decisions on the distribution of wealth amongst the reptilian citizens. One governor in particular, named Slonkak, a very old member of the overseers, rumored to be the oldest known living reptilian on the home world, some say. He worked on many top-secret research projects, including life extension. He was the main backer for this new change in policies. Meanwhile, in human-controlled space, Commander Adams and his crew on the trusty ghost ship had a mission to complete to get these friendly aliens out of a jam. The commander, using the scout ship's capabilities, was at the helm, with steady composure moved into position above the wrecked watcher ship, which was more intact than expected. Truly remarkable. Due to their shield technology, which acted like a turtle shell, cocooning the crew inside, from the impact and damage, the commander knew time was of the essence, and had put up a listening post drone in orbit around the moon to detect any approaching reptilian vessels. He was keen to get this mission done and dusted and report back to the High Council Command, hopefully getting all the boring stuff out of the way in and out. I don't trust this new guy running the show. He sounded way too keen for a personal tour of my ship. I better concentrate on the mission at hand. Okay, crew, where are we at with lowering a rescue tether to these space turtles? He said with a slight smirk to his first officer, Jack. Almost have contact, sir. Communications, keep your eyes and ears peeled. We don't want those sneaky bastards surprising us in the middle of this rescue, firmly stated Commander Adams, Nothing yet, sir, all clear on all frequencies. The ship's stats were looking good. Leaning over to pick up the ancient book on warfare tactics from his command chair, quickly flicked to the page on rescues. I know I am going to be needing this in a few minutes. As the watchers were lifted aboard the ship, the commander did a quick head count. 12 Eve got? Everyone else count the same? Yes, sir, answered the crew with a relieved sigh. How many were on your crew? What should I call you guys? Watchers, the commander said with slight confusion in his eyes. A older watcher moved forward from the group. These beings somewhat resembled normal household pond-type earth turtles, yet with more human-type features, and walked upright with no real visible shell on the back, but more of a hump. He spoke, "Thank you for the rescue. My name is Tulrix, and I am the captain of that rumble of a mess down there. All crew accounted for. That is the most the reptilians have attacked us before. Most times they give up after wasting all their power on, trying to bust through our shields." Commander Adams paused for a moment, processing what the watcher had just said to him. Yes, those slippery lizard bastards don't hold back under the orders of that queen they serve. She seems different to the others. The reason why they attack so hard is because of the fully automated androids on autopilot are actually doing better than the reptilian generals, who all have gone to a big space concert, staying away and taking all the credit for victories. Just as the commander said that, "Sir, 2 hostiles inbound, range 2,000 km, and closing fast." Thanks to the orbital drone's long-range scanners, gave the crew vital minutes to prepare. Commander Adams had a smile on his face, which the crew was already used to after serving with him for over a year now. The stunned watchers were thinking he was mad, to think they had any chance of getting out alive. The 2 reptilian vessels of a light carrier size, armored with everything that the reptilians could think to put on a ship, from railguns, tritium warhead missiles, space flamethrowers, stun bombs, sonic weapons, high energizer lasers, approached the moon's location, expecting to engage right away. But the area was clear, except a small drone in orbit. One of the vessels gave the order to retrieve the drone, while keeping a lookout on the scanners for any energy signatures on all frequencies, as they were well aware of this lone human ship named the Ghost could appear at any minute. As the first ship brought the drone aboard, they quickly searched and scanned for any usable data, for the Queen had been searching for a name, something anything would be of great value. Distracted by this mission, the second ship scanned the area, with a quick click on the comms to the first ship. "Anything on that drone we can use? All clear out here, just a moon and gas giant, and those annoying iron asteroids giving us some glitched readouts. Other than that, all good." The first ship failed to reply, as they waited, listening to the crackling comms from the interference. For any response, a dread started to rise in the crew of reptilians, and before the general could hit the comms button again, a huge explosion erupted from the location of the first ship. The alarms bellowed on the second ship, warning of the fallout of the explosion heading their way. With a quick movement, they only sustained minor damage before they could regain focus or bearings. A rippling effect headed straight at them. The origin seemed be coming from the iron asteroids next to the gas giant before they could hyperjump. The engines went offline and all power went down on the ship. Sitting there exposed and awaiting the end, a beeping sound echoed through the ship. It was the backup system comms. The reptilian general nervously clicked the button. "Hello there, friends. How are we doing today? Now that I have your attention, I have a message for your queen. End this invasion or ill will bring the fight to her home world. Oh, and how was the Spam Jam concert? Maybe you should have stayed there and let AI pilots do your job." Before the reptilian general could respond, the human ship loaded up the engines and hyper-jumped back to human-controlled space. The leader of the Watchers, Tulrix, had a surprised look on his face. Commander Adams, with a smile, said, "How did you like that?" Tulrix pondered for a bit. "That is what we need to learn. The drone with a hidden bomb inside was great. Hiding in the asteroid field was neat. Glad you liked." The commander chuckled. The Watchers seemed taken back by what they had seen. The Watchers' leader asked if they could get something to eat. "Sure. What do you space Watchers like to eat?" Commander Adams quickly correcting himself. "Well, you can call us space turtles if you want, but we prefer Watchers. Since we met you humans, we have developed a taste for something called pizza." The crew and commander nearly fell out of their chairs in laughter. "I have just the spot back on Earth. I think you will enjoy." The human ship plotted a course for Earth and directions to a place called Mr. Cosmic Pizza Place.